So now we're in the car, let's head out for a drive and see how it feels to drive. So now I've adjusted the seat to my driving position. I have adjusted my underside support as well. And let's move. So as I was telling you before about the driving modes, so right now we are on Eco. So what it will do is it will give you the best fuel economy. The steering is on the lighter side and the gear shifting would be much more instant to give you a better range, fuel economy basically. Now visibility in the car is really great. I have good amount of visibility in the front as well as the side, and I sit pretty much low on every car, same to do with this one, but I still have good amount of visibility as well. And the cabin feels a lot airy because of the sunroof as well above me. I have a nice digital instrument cluster in front of me that I can change modes as well. So right now it is on the classic view. So if I want to change views on that, as I said, I need to use this side of the controls. So if I move to home, I can scroll all the way to design. See if I want a sporty design, I click on sporty, and just like that you have a sporty design display in front of me. Then if I want a progressive design, I move to progressive, and this is how it looks. So I can change different driving displays on the cluster. Now as I said, we are in Eco. Let's shift to the next one, that is comfort. So what this will do is it will give you a more comfortable drive. It's going to shift slightly later, not as quick as what it was on Eco, to give you a more fuel efficient drive. And the steering basically remains almost the same. The engine response also remains slightly, it is slightly more aggressive, but not that much. It's still on comfort mode. Then you have the sport mode. Now in this, your engine becomes slightly more aggressive. Your gear shifting is also slightly more delayed, so it gives you a more sportier drive. As you can see, you have and we've already reached our speed limit that is there on this car. Then we have a Sport Plus mode where things get a lot more exciting and aggressive. The steering instantly becomes stiffer, so it gives you a more confident drive. Sorry about the beeps in the car, but this is the speed chime that is there, which beeps after 120 kilometers. And in this, the gear shifts are also delayed, so you have a more delayed gear shift, so it takes you all the way up to like 4,500-5,000 RPM and then shift. So it's a more sportier drive. So this is basically what you'll use more on the highway. And then you have an individual mode as well, wherein you can customize it the way you want it. You can customize the steering feedback, you can customize the way the engine responds, and the gear shifting as well. So you have loads of driving modes basically. And as we humans have multiple modes from the start of the day till the end of the night, Mercedes has given us these many modes to change it according to the mood that we are in. And to accompany that, we also have a 64 color ambient lighting, so that accompanies the driving mode that you're driving in and puts you in the best spot, which is really cool actually. So let's switch to night mode. Welcome back. So we're back again in the car. Let's talk about the steering, feel and feedback. So yes, as I said, on different driving modes it does change. The steering on Sports Plus mode is a lot more direct. You have a lot more feel to the steering wheel, whereas on Comfort and Eco it's on the softer side, which is really great because that's what you're going to use when you're in city and cruising around, maybe going to office or stuff like that. Suspension, which is set up on slightly on the more stiffer side, so that's basically to give you a more planted drive when you're on the highway. highway like this, like how we are right now. So that's where even the Sport Plus mode works hand in hand with that, so you don't have a lot of body roll on the car, and it is not that stiff as well that you find it really harsh in the city. It's actually set up in a really nice way. You don't feel a lot of harshness as well. Gauge levels are pretty good as well. You don't really hear the engine sound coming inside. Only on, say, your higher RPMs you do find that the sound comes in, but that's also a very nice and sporty sound. It's not a irritating sound, something like that. It's very nice and sporty. Then what we have in front of me is this 12-inch screen that is here, which, as I said, have loads of controls on that. I can change a lot of stuff in that. I can also view a lot of things on this thing. You have a lot of driving data that you can see on this. So you have something called as engine data, wherein you can see your Newton meters. So you have a gauge for that in kilowatts, as well as your Newton meters, your torque. Then you go back to car, you go back, you have something called as vehicle data as well. Now what this does is it will tell you your acceleration, so it will show you in percentage. As you can see, it's 26% acceleration. The same thing it will do in braking. So as you can see, when I brake, it will show you the amount of brake pressure that I'm using, and that's going to show you in percentage. Another cool thing is that, as you can see the car right here, it will show you your steering tilt angle. So right now it is showing 0, but as soon as I turn my steering, it will show. So right now as we are driving, it will show only 1 degree or 2 degree, but it goes all the way up to 38 degrees when you completely turn your steering wheel, which is pretty cool actually, and very fascinating to see, especially if you are a passenger and even for a driver as well. Then you also have other stuff here, like your driver assistance systems over here, wherein you can turn your ESP off and on. You have your cameras for your park assist. So this car also has auto parking, which will show you in a while. Stay tuned for that. And you have attention assist. So this is basically fatigue detection. It will you can change it into different modes. You have sensitive, standard, and off if you want to switch that off as well. So you can change that. Here's your consumption. Basically this will show you your consumption, kilometers per liter. It'll show you a graph if you want to see that. And yes, as I said, ambient lighting, as you've seen, ambient lighting. You have ambient lighting and exterior lighting as well. You can control your settings from here. Then let's head back. Now this is basically the infotainment system, which can be controlled from this toggle right here. It's really nice, very intuitive. You have good amount of feedback to it. It haptic feedback, so it's really great. And you don't need to like put your hands all the way to the screen and touch things there. You can do everything from here, which is really great. You have your navigation, you have your radio, media, telephone. Now Me Connect is basically an app that you can download. It's a Mercedes app wherein it can give you driving data of the vehicle and few information as well of the vehicle, like in case your window is down, or in case you have how much range you have in your car and stuff like that can be viewed from there, which is really great. Then as I showed you, vehicle and settings are basically your display settings, input, connectivity, and stuff like that. So this is basically pretty much what is there on the infotainment system right there. Steering wheel, as I said, Sport Plus. You also have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel right here, which if you want a little bit more sportier drive, you can use your paddles as well. Now under the hood is a 2-liter diesel engine producing 192 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque, and all this is powered to the rear wheel and makes it really exciting. Now the other thing is, in terms of convenience, what I have here is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So let me head back to home. Let's click Apple CarPlay, and here, as you can see, I have Apple CarPlay as well displayed right here. I can use Google Maps from here. I can have my messages being read out to me and stuff like that, which is really great. And I have this touchpad at the bottom from which I can slide it and scroll like it's a touchpad. So I can do stuff from that as well. In terms of safety now, what we have in this car is we have 7 airbags, we have ABS, EBD, traction control. It basically comes with all your loaded safety features inside. I have pre-safe braking, so that helps you as well. It also detects when there's going to be a collision, and it fastens your seat belt. It shuts up all the window. The auto park works on the C class, so we put it in auto park, put our indicator and drive forward. As you can see, the car is searching for a space, so we are driving forward, searching for the other side as well. Okay, it has detected 2 spaces, so all what we need to do, I guess, is press OK, move in reverse. Let me switch on the light and let's see what the car does. So as you can see, the car has turned, it's steering by itself. And it has moved forward as well by itself. Now it is moving into reverse as well. And there, the Mercedes C-Class has successfully parked. Now you also have loads of information that you can see on the digital instrument cluster right here. Now we will do an in-depth review on the digital instrument cluster and the infotainment system in another video. Stay tuned for that as well. So that's pretty much how it feels to drive the C220D. It's a very nice, comfortable, luxurious, smooth car. You have loads of stuff that you can do with the car. You have loads of tech also inside the car, and you have a 3-pointed star in front of you that makes you feel special. With that, guys, I wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you found it informative, and hope you liked the video. And if you have any more questions regarding the C-Class, do let us know in the comment section down below. Also, we would like to thank Counto Motors Mercedes for lending us a car for a review.